Welcome back to Jankowski Speedin' Off-Road, where today I'm going to show you how I added lights to my daughter's stroller. Let's do this. All right, we're going to make some taillights for this thing. I'm going to do a two-part epoxy resin and mix a little bit of red in with it. Then I'm just gonna, I have the car on end here, I'm just gonna pour in the resin and be some red taillights. We'll mix this stuff up and we'll use some syringes to get them in there. And I've worked a lot with resin. Probably, yeah, I suppose 3 years ago. I made a probably 6,000 resin lug nuts. They were NASCAR style lug nuts because we were making centerpieces for our wedding, and my wife's a big NASCAR fan, and she really wanted lug nuts, and I bought a set of 5 like actual NASCAR lug nuts and made molds of them so I could make like 50 at a time. It was a lot, and I really hated it. It was a lot of work. We'll mix. Doesn't really matter which side you put in first. And this stuff is like honey. All right, part A, part B. Like that. Should probably be wearing gloves. You have to mix it up here. Try not to get any air in it. Right. We'll mix in our dye. I actually have never used dye in this stuff before. I was using spray paint. I was actually spraying different color spray paints into this stuff. I bet I have to cut the end of this, don't I? Or does this just pop out? Sure, why not? No idea how much of this to put in here. We're just going to mix it until it gets to the shade of red I want. I still want it to be semi sort of see-through because I'm going to put lights in the back. Ooh, that was a lot. Wonder if I have any darker colors to really kind of darken it up a little bit. I don't know if this is the right red. It's almost pink. What else do we have here? There is black, but I don't want to do that. I have this like, I think this is a darker red. Well, I have enough. Ooh, I don't know what that is. Well, let's mix it up and see what happens. Mm, I don't know if I'm a fan. We'll leave that there. We're going to mix up another one. I have a few tries at least. All right, I tried mixing black in with the red off camera and it just came up brown, so we might just have to run red. Never know, maybe it'll darken up a little bit once it's in there. Because that is, where it's going is a little dark, so. Okay. Guess let's give it a shot. Here goes nothing. It's not like I haven't worked super hard on this thing. That might look all right. Or it might have to look all right because I don't think there's getting any of this out of here. Oh, please let this be enough. I think that should be all right. And yes, I know a 66 Nova, it should be cut like right here, and this part should be a reverse light. That's way too much work. We're just gonna stick with that. All right, I'm gonna have to pop some bubbles, I think, but I did mix up a little bit more, filled them all the way, almost all the way up. So I'll let that sit in this position. I just have it propped up, not a towel. Yeah, cool stuff. Hey, we're back the next day. These taillights have cured over the night. That's pretty neat. And I've started to drill holes in the backside to add these LEDs to make these taillights functional. Too bad there's hot spots in it, but there's not much I can do about that. I'm going to drill out the other side and get that ready to go. I wonder if I should measure. I could measure it. Those are actually really bright. Sure, that's about where those were. This is a 3/8 bit that makes these fit in snug. Try this side out, see what it looks like. And yes, I have an adapter for this. This is just to test it. Oh, that turned out nice. Yeah, it shows up more on the camera, but it actually doesn't look that bad when it's in person. Cool, we have working taillights, kind of. I already turned the lights off. The car's still upside down, but that's pretty cool. This pedal car, or not pedal car, stroller, has taillights that light up. Then we'll work on the headlights here next. All right, up next are the headlights. I'm just going to do singles in the middle. They come to a point, and the lenses are going to be clear, so one LED should be enough. Start off with a smaller bit here, a 7/32. That doesn't really matter. It's just something that I grabbed. No going back now. We'll switch over to the 3/8. So that's the size of the LEDs that I have. Just go slow so you don't rip this thing up. Okay. Working on the headlights now. I took this mold. It's like a mold for almost looks like a Christmas ornament or something. There's like a hole there and you can make a globe. But I just filled it partially with resin. I actually have one that I already made. This is just a lens that I made off of that for the headlight. It looks pretty good. So this has been sitting for roughly 24 hours. It takes forever for this resin to set up. We'll see if we can pop it out of the mold. There it is. There's a little lens. So what I'm going to do is take this other lens and kind of trace it out, and I'm going to have to grind down because I made it way bigger than it needed to be. So I hold it up here. So this is the lens that I made. It was bigger, but I ground it down so I could chamfer it so it'd have something for the, I'll probably epoxy them in. And this is the one that just came out. You can see it's definitely way bigger, but this one started off that big. And then I took like red Scotch-Brite and sanded the back of it to kind of give it a frosted look. Once it's on the car, it doesn't look so white. But when the light's on, the whole thing lights up. If it was just clear, you'd just see the LED on, and this just looks nicer. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this one up, take a marker, kind of roughly mark out where I need to grind down to. There. So I'll just grind down to that black mark. I'm going to throw this on because, you know, you don't want to breathe any of that stuff in. I want to have this really cool Milwaukee, it's a band file. This thing, I didn't think I'd use it that much. I use it all the time. Okay, there it is, all chamfered, cut the size. I'm gonna sand the back of this so it's not clear anymore, so the light gets diffused. Grab some stuff here. And you want to keep the front of the lens clear. Sand the back side. And I just use red Scotch-Brite. Okay, there we go. It's frosted. Cool. Here they are mocked in. They're not glued yet. But I'll just use some like fast setting epoxy. This thing will have some headlights. Yeah, I just have it screwed down to this board, just on end. Kind of the way I did the taillights, just the opposite way around. That'll look pretty cool. Well, I never got to show you actually gluing them in, and I said I was going to use like an epoxy. I thought I had some. I couldn't find any. I did find this in a drawer. It's Loctite super glue. It's a gel, so it doesn't run out everywhere. And I just put it along the perimeter of the light. And then I had sanded the actual inside of this with 80 grit to give it some bite. And I just glued it on, and you could tell, you could see the glue kind of around the outside because
I sanded the back of this lens to kind of frost it, but when you add anything to the back, that frosting kind of goes away. But I think it'll look all right. I could turn the light on here because I actually have it wired. And once that's on, I mean, you can still see it, but are you really going to pay that much attention to it?
And to keep these lights from falling out and to keep the light from coming out where it's not supposed to, I glued these with hot glue. And it's actually, what are these? Technically they're for fabric, but they're black, so they'll block out the light on the back side. And then if you ever have an LED that comes out, you can still replace the LED, because if you glue those in with like epoxy, you're never going to get them out again. And it seems like it works pretty well. I mean, they're solid in there. They're not going anywhere. I mean, it says it's for fabric, but it also says you can use it for like wood, plastic, metal, ceramic, leather. So it's the same stuff.
You know, the lights are installed. I never got to show you really how I wired it or the finished product. So I'm going to kind of go over everything with you right now. So I'm going to pop the hood off here. And the stacks. I'll show you how I wired it. It's not perfect. I'm not done yet. Because technically, if you have seen any of my other videos, I have an AC setup that sits here. I needed to get this done just to make it to a show. So I just screwed this base on here. This is like for wiring in a Power Wheels car for an M12 battery. And then I just hooked all the wires together and kind of zip tied them up. And I did put some sheathing over some of it, just because if it chafes, I don't want anything to short out. And then the way these are done is it's actually a switched ground instead of a switched power. That this just came with it. And I just zip tied it to the bottom here. I'll actually shut that off for a minute. Yeah, that switch right there, that's temporary, but I mean, it works. But I added all these other light strips here, and yes, I have not painted the frame yet. This all has to come apart in the frame, has to get painted. But yeah, I just added these light strips here, and then there's light strips underneath. It's hard to see. Yeah, I just added these. I was kind of against it. I didn't really want, you know, underglows on it, but it kind of gives it a cool look, and it helps with safety. You know, if I'm pushing around at night or something, it just adds a little bit of extra light so people can see you. You know, same thing on the back here. Just another light strip. Then you can kind of see those other two that are just stuck to the bottom of the car. Then you got the taillights. Obviously, what I talked about before, there's some hot spots. Not much I can really do about that. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty cool. Yeah, so if anybody's doing this and your lights don't come on, say if you wire it up and the lights don't come on, or some of them don't come on, it might not actually be bad. It could just be wired backwards. So that's a thing to keep in mind. All right, well, that should be it for now on this. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'm going to put a link in the description on some of the stuff that I used on here to make these lights work. And I hope you guys have a good day, and see you in the next video.